course you're not hot because you're fucking Trinidad.
Yeah, all right. You want me to keep it open?
It's too late, man. We're recording.
Roll it.
We're recording. Welcome to another episode of Smack Talk. Leave it on the court. I am your host, Cerebral.
And you know it's me, Dmob, Dmob.
I wasn't done introducing.
Oh, well, you was over here like just going with it, so I figured I would too.
To my right.
Follow your lead.
To my right, Dmob.
Dmob, what's up?
What's good, brother?
Not much, man.
I'm not used to you being on this side.
Well, I figure every time I sit on the other side, I know you always turn more on this side, so I assume it was just your better side of turning.
Are you trying to get my attention?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want eye contact.
Well, usually all of my stuff is facing this way.
All right, well,
So
that explains it. I just
like,
have a memory of seeing that you always look this way more than my way. So
I try to
like,
look your way.
Yeah, but I know it looks like an uncomfortable turn. Like it's like, yeah. See how that?
And you know what? Now that you mention it,
that's why I was like, I literally said, I was like, you know, I should go on the other side just for him. And plus, this chair, this is that lean chair, so it feels good to sit in it. Mm-hmm. It's a lot better than those.
Yeah.
I won't lean like Josh though.
Yeah, I was about to say, make sure you stay up on the microphone.
He thought he was the Joe Button.
Real quick, shout out to Josh and Brian for sitting in with us a couple weeks ago. Always appreciate the homies coming in and showing love to the podcast. Another shout out to Joe. He is still on his I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Joe's not here right now.
I was gonna say journey, but it's not really like a journey.
It is, but it isn't.
It's not.
Joe's just not here right now, and he wishes he was here.
I'm kind of mad because he went to that Detroit Tigers game.
Yeah,
and I ain't seen no pictures.
He didn't want nobody to know.
But why?
You know what? And shout out to Joe for posting on the Smack Talk Instagram. Representing for whenever the show pops up in the Wrigley. I appreciate that. I still haven't been yet this year. I'm going in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a good time right now. Soaking in right now.
What a time.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to make sure we got this episode in for a couple of reasons. The main reason is because I needed to brag. I got all 4 of the last round of playoff predictions correct.
Oh, did you?
I predicted Golden State, Portland, Milwaukee, Toronto. I just want to pat myself on the back. So. Okay. And we're done. We can stop this podcast now. Actually, no. I'm joking. But no. On a serious note, I did want to talk about how all of those series ended because, in their own way, they were all interesting. If you start with Golden State, it was a really interesting scenario from the simple standpoint of their best player, Kevin Durant, was out in Game 6, and a lot of people basically gave that game to Houston, saying there's no way that they're losing to Golden State without Kevin Durant.
I will say, yeah, a lot of people did. I you know what? Nah, I'll take that back. I really feel like a lot of people thought that the Golden State was going to win. I don't think they were going. Not that Game 6. I think they knew that they were going to pull away, but not the Game 6. Like I expected them to be competitive. I thought they were going to win Game 7, but they clearly said, no, we're going to finish this now.
I think a lot of people have forgotten. They are starting to remember that before Kevin Durant ever stepped foot in a Golden State jersey, Steph Curry was a 2-time MVP.
Well, like I said, I don't know. Like I read that, I felt like people knew that, and everybody was expecting them to be those guys, because it showed towards the end of that last game of Game 5 when they really should have just rolled over and just Houston's supposed to put their foot on their necks, and they didn't do it.
The only reason why is because I see a lot of people coming at Houston's like, how could you lose that game?
Well, it's because like you are supposed to. Because look at the scenario. How we look at this. Y'all lost both games in Golden State. That's supposed to happen. They held home. They won, their Houston game. And then in that Game 5, they were down by 17 or 20 points with KD on the team. And they end up coming back with KD on the team still. And then when they got hurt, KD, that was y'all chance to take over that series right there. Yeah. And then the next game was like, y'all literally
should close it out.
Y'all should close it out. And I think they just looked at it like this was y'all chance. I think people knew that Steph and Clay and Draymond, they were going to show up, but they expected more from Houston because it's like y'all this is your chance.
Yeah.
That's how I read it.
I look at Houston and what the makeup that they have. It's not a championship caliber team. I've been saying it all year.
Mm-hmm. Last year, I would say this year
that was as close as they got, and I didn't believe in them last year.
Yeah, like this year coming in, it was too messy. I felt it was too much hero ball with James Harden.
It's not a system. You cannot win. And I said this halfway through the season. You can't win a championship with your star player paying ball like that. Mm-hmm. You can't do it.
I think and I think they lost their ways in the beginning of the season because they lost Chris Paul and James Harden had to literally carry the team, and it just got stuck that way.
Yeah,
and
it never went back to the offense that they run.
And that's what I mean. But on the top of that, the new set of cast between like Kenneth Faried, Melo was there, didn't really work out with him, dropped him off. Who else? They had some more add-ons. I can't remember. Rivers. Austin Rivers came over there and everything. Yeah. So adding that, which some of them was a good pick. Like Kenneth Faried, when Chris Paul was gone, he gave some fire, but they couldn't even use him in the playoffs.
Right.
If they had him in the beginning of the year, they might know how to use him. Austin Rivers, he showed up a little bit, but he wasn't like he just got on that team. He don't know pressure like that yet.
Right. Yeah. He's not ready for that game.
Yeah. So I think if they come back with Austin Rivers and all those guys, it might be a little bit different next year.
I think you look at the track record of the three the three biggest components of that Rockets team, and you look at their track record in the playoffs. James Harden has a track record for choking in big games.
Yeah.
Chris Paul has a track record for either getting injured or choking in big games, and Mike D'Antoni's never been able to win a big game. That's the core of that team.
And it should took them all together to see what they have. Like I said, they missed 2 window opportunities last year. Well, I can't blame them last year. I don't know what was going to happen.
27 straight threes. I can bet
that, but they still lost. But this what I've heard quite a few times. They still lost by 1 point, so they had a chance to win it.
That's what I'm saying. But you missed 27 straight threes. That's on you.
But I'm saying the 20 missed threes. That is a problem, but the fact that y'all still lost, y'all still was scoring, y'all still played defense on the other side to keep it a close game. So last year, y'all window was closed, and
they had a lead, they had a big lead, they blew it because they kept missing those threes.
But then, okay, granted, if that was the case, but still, for you to have that in your grasp to take. You didn't take it. Like you did this in the regular season, James Harden. You made a clutch 3, in Golden State. And then last year you had the home court.
It's different pressure.
It's different pressure.
Those guys in Golden State are not affected by it. Not the same.
I would say this year I wouldn't give too much heat on James Harden. I think he showed up. I think Chris Paul did not show up. I think I'm not trying to say James Harden's not to blame, but Chris Paul did not show up like he showed up last year. He showed up at the last moment. That was at the last game. And, you needed him throughout the rest of the season.
Chris Paul is playing like a superstar that's on his last legs of his career.
He's and it's so ridiculous because they gave him that contract, which in hindsight.
He said he's not taking no pay cut.
I know. And in hindsight, if I was in his shoe, I want to get paid. Of course. I don't blame him for taking that money. He's been taking pay cuts a lot over his career. So he felt like he almost got them to the championship, but you can see the money's this high, and then you
winning the championship is like we said with Melo. How much do you really want to win a championship?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Chris Paul tried that when he went to the Clippers, and now he's playing like he's in the mindset of Melo. No, I want to get paid now.
I want to get paid. Yeah, because as soon as he signed that deal, I think I even said it here.
Yeah,
like that. There goes them winning a championship down the drain.
Probably.
What do you think about the report that came out about Chris Paul basically kicking Steph Curry off the court?
That's hilarious. It's somewhat. You can look at it. It's so many ways you can look at it, because if I was on the other team, if I could I want to be petty. I like being petty is okay. This is my home court. I want to shoot around.
Okay. So let me dress it up for everyone that doesn't know. Steph Curry wanted to get some shots up before Game 6. He had his trainer schedule shooting session
an hour before the game.
At least an hour before everybody else got there, so he could get a shooting session in. Chris Paul got wind of it. Chris Paul showed up at the time Steph was supposed to be there, and he said, "Nah, I got it. I got the court. This is my court. I got it." And Steph, being Steph, says, you know what, man, you want to get shots up too? I respect that. I'll take half the court. You take half the court. We'll stay out of each other's way. Chris Paul said, nah, I got the whole court. Kick Steph off. Steph couldn't get no shots up. So when Steph goes 0 in the first half, it makes a lot more sense to me.
That's why I said in the first half, that was his practice shots.
Yeah, those were his practice shots he was trying to get
I
up.
was like, that was his practice shots. Now that he got them off, what happened in the second half?
Second half, Steph went off. And it makes sense to me now why he played the way that he did, because he felt disrespected. And when that game was over, Steph is out there on the court shouting, kick me off the court again, boy.
Yeah. He just screaming that to Draymond.
And Draymond's, kick him off again. Kick him off again. And you're, as much of an instigator as Draymond is, and especially in that situation, I have zero issue with it.
Like I said, I kind of look at it, you can look at it two ways. You can be petty, or either way, if he would have got his shots in, he would have been rhythm kind of, because Steph is that type of guy. You can't take that chance. Or he could have been mad, like, yo, I wanted to shoot around. This is I'm looking at you, Chris Paul. This is your fault.
This is your fault.
I'm looking at you, boss. That's what Steph is looking at. He's looking at freaking Chris Paul. Is like, this is your fault. Yeah. You made this happen.
You made me do this.
Made me do this. So,
I mean, the only reason why I look at it funny is because Chris Paul has been for years, touted as one of the most hated players in the NBA.
And it's so crazy because I like that stuff with Rondo this year. Rondo's like, man, everybody thinks that Chris Paul is this good guy and all that stuff. Yeah. I like in my head, I was like,
and it's crazy because Rondo is looked at as the crazy
a crazy dude. And what you call it, Chris Paul paints this, pretty picture of himself like, I'm this Halo,
he's
point guard.
He's got his twin brother Cliff, that everyone loves.
So he does. It's funny that like now it's starting to kind of show.
It shows. It's like, okay, it's like small stuff like this. This is why a lot of people don't really mess with Chris Paul.
But he's
besides his teammates and the Banana Boat game.
I will give him that he is a tough and very competitive person. Like I've noticed that on the court. So to say that he's a very
but that's
nasty
not
person, I would never thought
anybody.
that. No, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like the behind the scenes stuff, like the little talks that these dudes be having on the court. You don't know what Chris Paul is saying to the other point guard or other players. So I can imagine that now that a lot of this stuff is starting to come out. Well, damn, I didn't know that was like how he was. That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
So the Rockets are out. Yeah. I called it.
They're done.
I'm not shocked. Next series, Portland and Denver. You were really interested in this series.
I'm telling you, man, it was a very it's just the story. It's just, to me, it was just two teams that was like they are literally an image of each other, and they have like history. If you really deep dive into it, but yeah, I was invested in this game.
So this game, the game 7 came down to C.J. McCollum basically putting the team on his back and saying, "I'll do it," because Damian Lillard didn't have a good series. As much as he did do against Oklahoma City, he was I wouldn't say the exact opposite, but he wasn't that.
He wasn't. He had one good game, and I think it was like game 2. He had one decent game where he actually I think put up like 30 or something like that. But beyond that, he might have averaged like 20, just above 20 points.
I mean, 20 points would still be solid, but it's not.
But like for what he was doing to start the playoffs, you thought he would kind of. He's that leader. You would think he would be the one, in the lead of that. Bro, that game 7, CJ McCollum, I encourage anybody to just watch the highlights of just CJ in that game. It is the most beautiful highlight I've seen in a long time of just basketball.
He mastered the mid-range shot seemingly in that game. I saw a lot of really good, smart mid-range shots. And today's NBA, the mid-range shot is kind of looked at
between him and Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton got a good mid-range shot. He takes them as much as he's a sharpshooter. If you watch some of his games, he's got a good mid-range too. But yeah, CJ in that game literally showed up. Like all his points was damn near in the paint. I think he was like 2 for he didn't shoot a lot of threes. I think he made like 2 threes and that was it. Yeah. And he was just, like I said, if anybody, I encourage y'all to watch that game 7 Nuggets in Portland. CJ McCollum's.
So I have friends that are that are Denver fans, and I will encourage you to realize that this team is not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, and it's kind of
they're going to be good next year. Mm-hmm. They're up and coming. They had no playoff experience coming into this, so they've got it now. Mm-hmm. Let's see what they do with it next year.
It's funny because they missed out last year against the Timberwolves just to get in. They ended up coming back, almost getting the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Got second though. Came in, beat the Spurs after getting whooped by the Spurs in the first game. You would have thought
took them to 7. Spurs took them to 7. They had 2 tough series, 2 7-game series.
But I think they realized in that series that they were the better team. They had the better players, and they pretty much put the Spurs away. They came into Portland, they had a game with Portland. They took it to Game 7, and Portland, it was a battle. It came down there to the wire. C.J. McCollum hit a Michael Jordan likeness in Game 6 of the Jazz and Bulls. Came on, but he switched. Pulled back and pulled it on the 2. So what you call it? And you know who's coming back? I always forget how to say his name. Junior, I think Porter Jr. On the Nuggets. He just got cleared to do summer league. So if he comes back, being that he would have been the number 1 draft pick in his draft if he didn't have his I think it was his back, like he had that back surgery. Right. Yeah, now he literally just got cleared to do summer league. If he plays like the way everybody expects him to play and be that small forward, because he's a big guy, I think he's like 6'8" or something like that. Now they got a small forward. You got Harris, Murray, Porter Jr., Joker, and I think Millsap is going to be a free agent this year. If not, he'll be there still, and he's that veteran guy. That team's going to come, and I wouldn't be surprised if they take that number 1 seed next year. And don't sleep on the Joker. I got that dude got mad. I got mad respect for that guy right now.
Yeah, he balls. Mm-hmm. He definitely balls. Switching to the Eastern Conference. I told y'all not to mess with the Greek Freak's name, man. I told you that dude he's special.
I forgot who did he play. Who was
they played against Boston.
Oh yeah, Boston. Yeah,
after losing Game 1 in embarrassing fashion, I might add.
Yeah,
they didn't drop another game.
No, gentleman sweep. No, I couldn't.
Yeah,
just
it's like you can add the first one.
Yeah,
we'll take the rest.
Yeah,
Greek Freak did whatever he wanted in that series.
And watching that game, there was nobody that can stop him. There was nobody. They're in great rhythm, just like honestly right now with this Raptors game. That team's very scary. I kind of hated that I picked Boston. After that I was like, damn boy, these dudes are true. Now I'm in my head right now that I can see them going all the way to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, they only got one more series to go. There's a lot to be broken down in that series as far as
There's really only one thing to say. Kyrie Irving gave up on that team.
He did.
He gave
up on that team, and the rest of the players noticed it. And
I think gave up too.
Terry Rozier specifically I don't think he wants anything to do with.
Well, he said it. He said that if they bring back the same people, he ain't gonna want to come back. And why would you? Like, you about to be a free agent? I'm out of here. He didn't like. Honestly, I think he would go back if Kyrie leaves. I think he will go back.
Specifically.
I think that for sure.
I think that is specifically what. And
he even said it one time. He said Danny Ainge will never trade me. I think him and Danny Ainge do have a friendship. I think Danny Ainge likes Terry Rozier. I think he'd rather to keep him as much as he can, just as much as he can keep Jason Tatum.
Terry Rozier is a cheaper, younger, more reliable option than Kyrie Irving. Yes, I'm saying more reliable because Kyrie Irving gets hurt. Mm-hmm. He gets hurt, and if you're not available to be on the court, then how much are you really worth?
But I mean, we could say though, Kyrie Irving better than Terry Rozier, right? Though we're saying that.
Overall, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. But more reliable.
But the other question is, how well does Kyrie Irving fit into that offense?
That offense or any offense?
That offense.
It didn't work. It clearly didn't work, and I think Brad Stevens thought that Kyrie would. I don't think Kyrie Irving. I don't think he liked Brad Stevens' gameplay. I think he tried it a few times, and he actually did well. But I don't think that he likes it because he's the guy. He's the point guard. Mm-hmm. The smartest thing Brad Stevens did in that Pacers series was that at one point he made Terry Rozier the point guard and Kyrie Irving shooting guard. Yeah. Man, that worked so well. But right when they started that Bucks game, they didn't do it, and I'm just like, that worked because I think that just same thing with the Cavaliers. LeBron James brought up the ball most of the time, and
Kyrie can play shooting guard.
Play his shooting guard perform like he was playing point guard, but it was So
he's not the main ball handler.
And I think that Brad Stevenson was trying to make him like, hey, you're our leader, so here's the ball all the time.
Well, it's not only that you're our leader, you're our best ball handler.
Yeah. And
so Brad Stevenson's didn't have a bad idea.
No,
it's just that Kyrie doesn't agree with it.
Well, again, he didn't. I don't think he fed into Brad Stevenson.
I don't think Kyrie bought into it at all.
It's messed up because he even said it right when he got traded, which I hope this was true. I'm pretty sure it was, but either way, he was kind of sneak this in Ty Lue when he said it feels good to have a coach that knows how to run plays or knows how to do this or whatever. So.
Like, here's the thing, Kyrie. They've gotten to the conference finals 2 years in a row without you playing in a single playoff game. Mm-hmm. Brad Stevens knows something.
With a bunch of, hard collar working guys.
Yeah.
Not Isaiah Thomas was
no
the
big,
number one guy
no
last
big
time.
names on those rosters when they went to the conference finals 2 years in a row without you.
None.
So
I think
praise the Greek Freak.
I pray that even if Boston tries to go get Anthony Davis, they don't want to. I hope they don't. I think that the Kyrie Irving, I don't think Kyrie Irving wants to go back there, but I also hope that Boston doesn't invite him back because I think that was just
they can't afford both of them.
Well, no. Well, they have a room for I think one max player though.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, Anthony Davis just coming over there as a trade. His contract right now is not as big as it needs to be. Like he could be over there because they tried trading him during the season, kind of too. But so he could go over there.
Oh no, they could not trade for him until the offseason.
Okay.
They literally didn't like the way they set up with Kyrie's contract on there. They don't have the room for both of those contracts, even with his not being like the new supermax. They don't have room for both of their
I have to check
contracts.
that. I'm pretty sure there was something where they both
that's why everybody was saying the Lakers need to hurry up and get this done because Boston's not in it right now. Boston
I remember that. I remember hearing that.
Yeah,
Maybe it was the trade thing, but I swear that he could still go over there and they have room.
They could have traded him. They could have traded for him, but Kyrie had to be a part of that trade.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I remember it was Jason Tatum and all the young guys that was supposed to be a part of that trade.
Yeah, no. The only way that it would fit is if Kyrie was a part of the trade because the money wouldn't go work. Because that's why they're saying Boston's not in it until the offseason because they can't do anything as long as they have Kyrie and Kyrie on the books.
Oh, okay. Then.
Unless they trade Kyrie, which they didn't want to do.
Yeah. Well, again, hopefully they don't want him back. And like I said, I don't think he wants nothing to do with them. I would hope he doesn't. After this, it don't seem like it'll fit.
No, I don't think it's gonna fit. And I think Kyrie's learned his lessons as far as trying to be the alpha on the team. But I don't want to talk about the Celtics right now. I want to talk about Greek Freak and how amazing he is.
No, I don't. I'm not. That's what I said. Those guys are well polished and they're such lengthy guys, and they're all clicking. When you know it's a team that's clicking, you could see that they're all in sync.
So it seems it's a little one-sided now. But who do you got going for MVP right now? Is it still Greek Freak or Harden?
I always said it was Greek Freak.
I did too.
I like it's always been him. I mean, it's so hard. It's messed up because when Westbrook won MVP, he averaged a triple-double. That's the reason why he got it, kind of, He did it already.
He's been doing it since.
Doing it, so it was like, why didn't he get it? Back to LeBron James. He really should be the MVP of those last, ones that Stephen Curry had won, and I don't know who won before him.
Steph Curry's got two.
Was he the next one? No, well, KD. KD deserved it. Kyle trying to remember who won the MVP after LeBron's last one. I'm pretty sure it was KD.
Steph twice.
Yeah,
I want to say it was Steph twice.
Yeah, no, Steph twice, but it wasn't I think it went KD and then Steph twice.
Oh, okay.
Because KD had won one at one point.
LeBron, KD, Steph twice.
So, but either way, what James Harden has done this year, it's unbelievable. Like, granted that you don't like the man and what he did this year, it's still it's incredible. I don't it's hard. It really was a hard choice, but the fact that the Greek Freak is his story and where he's coming from and how he's just been trending up, he is by far to me about to take over as the best player in the league.
I look at the NBA now because a lot of talk's been happening when Michael left, the league wasn't in good hands as far as superstars.
And at that time, I don't think so. I think it was a collective of good superstars.
Yeah.
But to say that one guy,
but they weren't all. There was nobody that
was pulling people from other areas.
Right.
But granted, like I said, it was a collection because not everybody has a favorite player rather than Michael Jordan's the dominant one.
Do you think the NBA is going to have that same issue when LeBron leaves?
Yes, I think it is going to be like that. It's going to be another collective, group of guys that's great, and that's everybody just going to like him. I don't think I will say the NBA will fall a little bit of views because he's always been the talk of the
driving force.
No matter what, he was the focal point of everything. So, once he's done, he'll for the first year it'll be fine. Second year, unless somebody
I think the first year is where you're really going to feel it.
He's still gonna be talked about. It's still gonna be like something in the air. Hey, LeBron James, this and that. But I think the second year you're gonna see the droppage.
The only reason why I say that is because it kind of feels like the NBA doesn't have LeBron because he's not in the playoffs.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
I'm trying to figure the ratings that you're getting for the playoffs now are going to be a really good sign of what things to come.
When he's out of it.
When he leaves,
yeah.
Because essentially, LeBron James has been a non-factor as far as the NBA is concerned for the last 2 months of the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It sucks because I'm going to miss I'm going to be like, damn, man, LeBron James not in the seat, and there's no more talks like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. He has always played the bad guy in my eyes. I don't
want to say always, but he has for a long time.
Okay, when he as soon as he went
the moment he went to Miami, he started playing the bad guy.
That's when the problem is. And even though when he went to Cavaliers, you would think, I was happy for him. I'm like, cool, he went back and everything, but I was still I care less about him. I don't like him.
Right.
But once he's gone. Unless somebody like Zion is going to be that spectacular player, and I don't see it in him because he also seems like a guy that's humble. LeBron James is humble, but I think he's one of those. I think he's kind of it's all about me kind of guy too. And I don't think Zion is like that type of person. I don't think nobody actually out there is like that right now besides LeBron James.
Yeah, KD is hated the same way LeBron was when he was in Miami.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah, no,
KD was hated, but I feel like this year he's about to get that, because I don't think he's staying with the Golden State.
I don't think he's staying with Golden State, but I don't think that the love comes back like when LeBron went to Cleveland.
What I'm saying is it's going to be all right. KD's not on Golden State no more. Cool. It's cool to like him again. I think those guys that didn't like him, I think he pulls back a few people.
I'm willing to be open to it, but I don't think it happens. I really don't, because I think that people don't like him. I think that now people don't like him. They don't like his personality, his demeanor, the way he handles it.
Like I say, I think some people. I think he does rub certain people the wrong way. But I don't think it's as bad as you think. This is why I think. I think he does have a reputation that people looking at him like, oh, he's a annoying, crybaby player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I also feel like people still look at him like, yo, that dude is, He's just telling you how he feels, He's always about.
I think it's this. I think everybody respects his game. I have no doubt about that. But I don't think people.
No, I'm not talking his game. I'm talking about his personality. His personality, because he's always being straightforward. I mean, the guy is always.
But he's not though.
There's some things that he hide, but you can't knock that. When he was saying, I think it was something that he was talking about in the social media. Not social media. He was talking to the press like, y'all never want to talk about, basketball. Y'all just want to, know what I'm doing during, for the summer. Like, talk to me about basketball. Like, that's what he wants. He just expressing himself. And I felt him because he was like, I'm just trying to do what I love to do, but y'all are pushing me to talk about something I don't want to talk about.
I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him at all for that. But I'm saying it's because he speaks this way that there's going to be people that just don't come back.
Well, yeah. Of course. Yeah, but
and he has every right to speak however he wants to. I'm not judging him at all. I'm just saying what I think the perception is going to be. I don't think he gets those fans back like LeBron did. LeBron didn't get all his fans back.
No, he didn't. And when I say he got his fans back, it was more like, well, I meant because his story is He's from Cleveland. It's a whole different story.
Where can he go to? Where can KD go to? He's not going to Washington.
No, he's not. Not home thing. Like he wouldn't go back to OKC. I wouldn't be surprised if he would go back there, but he wouldn't go back there.
That's my sleeper pick for him to go to.
Like,
you heard it here first, Smack Talk.
I can see it. I just don't know if he wants to. Like, I honestly don't want to.
I still don't think he knows where he's going.
I don't think so either. I kind of still feel like he might go somewhere. I think my two teams is that I really do think he might be going to New York or he's going to the Clippers. I think it's one of those two. I think he would want to be coached by Doc Rivers. He's a good coach. I think he respects him, and I think he wants to be somewhere in California. He has a house in California. Every time off season he goes to LA to train. And I remember there was a time when he was still in OKC. It was actually the year he broke his leg, not broke his leg, but he did something to his leg. I can't remember. And that whole summer before that season started, he was up in LA all summer. And now I think that's a routine that he does. So I don't know. He might just want to be close, and he's just like he's like following LeBron's footstep with the whole.
Oh yeah, he's definitely following. So
yeah,
he's got he's on a quicker plan for it, but he's definitely following LeBron's plan. Yeah. I don't want to spend too much more time on KD.
Yeah, I was in my head how we get to KD. We're talking about Giannis.
Yeah. Well, no, we were talking about is the NBA.
Giannis MVP,
but there's one more series, and this was, in my opinion, it was the most exciting series. Toronto and Philly. Just because of the personalities or lack thereof.
I say there's a lack of them. There's only one personality over there. In that whole series, Joel Embiid is the only personality over there.
You got Jimmy.
Jimmy wasn't really all that. I honestly,
Jimmy had some good games in the series, but as far as personality goes,
his personality did not show this year.
He deferred.
I mean, his personality didn't show in this series.
His personality in this series specifically, he deferred to Joel. In this series, his personality just deferred to Joel, which honestly makes me think he's going to stay. But I don't want to talk about free agency just yet. We still have playoff games to get to. Game 7, Philly versus Toronto. I didn't think that Philly was even going to be close. I thought that Toronto was going to run away with it. I thought that Philly wasn't. I thought Philly was going to have a choke job.
I can see why you think that. You thought that.
But there's like 4 seconds left in the game, and it's tied 90-all. Toronto's got the ball. It's no secret where the ball was going.
No, yeah.
We all know that Kawhi was getting the ball. He had 39 points at this point. He had half of Toronto's points. They've been riding him this whole series, this whole playoffs. So why not give him the ball in this moment? Kawhi gets the ball. Ben Simmons is guarding him. Joel switches to him. Ben Simmons gives up on the trap because it wasn't successful when Joel came for the help. Kawhi gets to his spot. And after 35 bounces, the ball goes in.
Yeah, it was honestly an amazing shot. I was happy to actually watch it during that time. It like, even I was like, yo, watching, I was like, man, that's hard to, like, if you're anybody that's in that building that's a fan of the Sixers or the fan of the Raptors, watching that is just
bounce.
It's the slowest bounce when probably they're watching. Even when I watched, I was like, damn, that thing's bouncing for a while. Like, the fact that I could get that senses out before it even hit down, go through the hole, that thing was just up there. I'm just like, oh, it's just jaw dropping.
I got to give my props to the Sixers because they showed up, and to lose on a shot like that, hold your head tight.
And you know what? And then Joel Embiid cried, and I was like, man, that's. I can see why. Like,
Joel absolutely wants to win,
and he actually played very well in that game. He didn't play his greatest game, but he played very well. Like, I watching him, I was like,
he's not been at 100% this whole series.
Yeah, he has not. I question some of the sickness thing. The whole series was weird with him. Like, he was sick at one point, and then
it was basically stomach flu.
Yeah, but then after that, he had it was something with his knee also, and then one game he has like a blowout game. He's doing all that antic stuff like Westbrook be doing, and.
They don't get along because they're the same player.
Yeah, pretty much. So so he's doing that in that game, and then the next game he tells his coach he hasn't slept in 9 hours. it doesn't are you back to being sick again? Like, what is going on with you? So I felt like that 9-hour thing that he couldn't sleep. I don't think he was sick. I think he was just nervous. I think he had playoff jitters. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a lot of pressure on him. He wasn't playing the game that he was supposed to play.
Playoff jitters?
Why?
Because the claw was on the other side of the court.
I mean, yeah, if you want to look at that, but it's not like Leonard didn't guard him as much because then Butler started hooping, so they had to switch him to Butler. Gasol was guarding him very well, and that's what they were saying.
What did I say was going to happen in that series? Whoever got hot, hey Kawhi, you go handle that.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened.
He guarded him up, and like I said, once Butler got going, Gasol was like, "Hey, I got it," because Gasol always been like. Prior to when Gasol was in Memphis, Joel Embiid only averaged 16 points against Marc Gasol. So.
I will say this. Marc Gasol did fall for way too many pump fakes from Joel Embiid.
I mean, everybody does. I just don't get it with Joel Embiid. Like, why do y'all jump with this dude? Like he's not that much of a streak. And when he shoots the threes and the jump shots, he really is like maybe like 50%. I guess it's like you got a 50-50 chance of like jumping at him, not jumping at him. I don't know. Like I think all players do that when it comes to him because they're not expecting a big guy like that to take a shot. Right. And he does let that boy sling. So
mainly because I want to get on to the current round of playoff games. The Sixers lost. Toronto has been riding the coattail of Kawhi Leonard. I think they're getting more and more nervous as every series goes because you don't know what Kawhi's thinking. He's not giving you any hints, at least not any positive hints.
Nah.
So
he got a great poker face.
Great poker face. Pops taught him up.
Yeah.
So now you go to the next round. Toronto versus Milwaukee. This is a great matchup because you have probably the two best individual players in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. Next to Joel Embiid, yeah. They're probably two. Probably goes.
I'm putting both of them ahead of Joel.
No, that's what I'm saying. I literally was going to say go Giannis, Leonard, and then Joel. I can't think of anybody else that's over there.
Or Kyrie. Look, and I've talked shit about Kyrie on this podcast.
I love Kyrie, but he is not a MVP player.
He's the fourth best player in the Eastern Conference.
The fourth, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's I thought you were saying like he was over Joel Embiid.
No. I'm saying Joel is a bigger player, is a better player than Kyrie for his impact on the game.
Yeah, impact on the game. Yeah.
But there's not another player ahead of Kyrie other than those three.
At this point, trying to think, I wouldn't say there's nobody else. I was gonna say Jimmy, but Jimmy's
too streaky for me.
Yeah, but you know what? He's graying off out of the playoffs. Like he shows up when it comes to playoffs.
Great big game.
Yeah, honestly. He takes those games.
Y'all know my Jimmy Butler fandom. I know what Jimmy is, but I got my Jimmy Butler fandom. So you got this matchup. Probably, like I said, probably the two best players in the Eastern Conference.
The Bucks and the Raptors. Yeah.
Well, definitely the best two teams, the top two seeds. So you've got the Greek Freak versus the Claw, Giannis versus Kawhi. Who do you got in this series?
Honestly, after watching that game one, I cannot see the Raptors, not Kawhi, but his cast of,
the rest of them.
Yeah. Even though Kyle Lowry showed up in that game, he was 5 for 7. The rest of the team was like even Kawhi wasn't doing good. Kawhi only had 2 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But watching that game, like I said, the Bucks are too sync. They're long, like they lengthy as all hell. All of them. They like the shortest dude that's starting is Bledsoe. Anybody besides that are more than 6'8", more than 6'8". Like Mirotic is 6'11". Oh no, 6'10". Chris Middleton is 6'8". Brooke Lopez is I think 7 foot.
Yeah.
And then Giannis, they say he's really 6'10", but on a good day, he's really 6'11".
What the hell does that mean on a good day?
Like I don't know. I just hear that like on a good day you're 6'11" or something. Like you're a little extra. Like I'm 6'9", sure. I'm 5'9". On a good day, man, I'm 5'9.5".
I'm 6'1" Monday through Friday.
There you go. You pick your days.
And Saturdays and Sundays, I'm still 6'1".
But so it just, and then like I said, Bledsoe's like 6 foot at night, probably like 6'1", but I'm pretty sure he's only 6. But that's those, and then off the bench, they still got tall guys coming in. Snell. Yeah.
So you think their length is going to bother Toronto too much?
That, and then like I said, their sync. Giannis is great. They're great at defending. Yeah. They covered, like I said, being as long as they are, their wingspans. They pretty much are all. They all can hold hands, and just stop all of them, yo. It could cover up the whole court probably, yo, from end to end.
So I look at that game one. I went back and I watched the highlights. I didn't see the game.
Yeah, I didn't. I watched that towards the end.
As a Raptors fan, the thing that you should be the most concerned about is the fact that Kyle Lowry showed up, and y'all still lost.
Yeah, I still lost. It's not going to happen again.
You can't rely on him to show up. So when he does show up, you need to win those games.
Mm-hmm. They had the lead. I think they had like a 14-point lead.
They had to lead most of that game.
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys didn't show up in the fourth quarter is very alarming because that's what Kawhi is for. Now, granted, I think he's burnt out.
I think that the last game really took out of him. It was still like he was not high on his horse.
38 shots in that game. So.
He was not all high on it. Like he even said it. They said, "How long did it take for you to get over this?"
That. He said the next
day. So I think, but I also think like the feeling was still in the air, and it's like, oh man, we still got another game. This is like when everybody's cheering like that, you would think you won the title. But you didn't, you got to play the next team now.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, I think...
you got to play a better team
So,
now.
I think that took a little out of him in the fourth quarter. They kind of locked him up. But I also think it was just because he was coming off the last game. Yeah. And the Bucks was fresh. They sat...
They've been waiting.
They've been waiting every single time they've been finishing the series. Yeah.
They've dropped one game.
So, I do think that Toronto has a chance, in my opinion, to steal the next game, but it's going to be a battle. They're going to have to battle for it. They got to work for it. Like I said, they were good in that last game, but again, fourth quarter came. I think they just lost a little bit of their
term. So overall, the whole series, you got Milwaukee.
Yeah, I got Milwaukee.
I've had Milwaukee going to the finals. So actually, I take that back. I think I had Toronto going to the finals, but I'm going to say Milwaukee's going to win the series. I'm going to say Milwaukee. Just watching the way that Toronto's playing, they aren't deep enough. Mm-hmm. They aren't deep enough. Their only go-to option is Kawhi. And against a team as deep as Milwaukee is, when their best player is every bit as good as your best player, it's not going to work in your favor.
And then the whole reason why in the Bucks won, they all say the same thing. Even Greek, Brook Lopez had a monster game. He went for 29, and he was slinging those shots from Steph Curry, Damian Lillard range.
Like the amount of toll that Kawhi has on him, Giannis doesn't have any of that. He's averaging 31 minutes a game in the playoffs.
Well, like I say, he has a lot of help.
He has a lot of help. He has a lot of help, and he's good already. Yeah, he doesn't need as much help as he has, but he has it.
Like I said, the way they put the team around him is just the same way they did for LeBron. Put some shooters around you.
Put a lot of shooters, get length and shooters.
And he's a great passer. He's always looking for his teammates. Only time he wants to feel aggressive is when he feels like he needs to. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, he knows that I got this guy here, that guy here, this guy there, and I am fully confident that they're gonna make that shot. And that's what Kawhi has. I got this guy here, this guy here, this guy here. I don't trust none of y'all. Zero. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's all Bucks. It's
Bucks. So the other series is Portland Golden State. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Kevin Durant missed game one. Steph Curry.
It came out that he's probably gonna miss this. I don't want to say the whole series, but they say he's gonna miss 3 and 4.
A good chunk of it. Yeah. So he missed game one. Golden State was able to hold serve. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson did their Splash Brothers thing. They're currently playing right now as we're recording this, and Golden State's down by 15 at halftime. Steph has like 19 points though.
Does he?
Yeah.
I see that they kept showing his face, so it looked like he was having a decent game. Like they kept showing him, and I was like, but Portland's winning. Why do you keep showing him? It was a little confusing. Yeah, he's got 19, and the leader on the Blazers is CJ McCollum. He's 3 for 4 right now from the threes.
Yeah,
6 for 11.
So this series, I wanna wrap this up because we have to get to the Zion thing, and then we gotta wrap this up. So I want to in this series, this is a good precursor for Kevin Durant if he doesn't play a lot of this series to see for his own ego how much do the Warriors really need him, because I think that's a part of this.
Hey, you know what? I think he knew that they didn't even in the beginning. It was Draymond Green that called and said, "Come over here.
We need you, bro.
We need you." I think he's looked at them like why? Like I don't think he had gold. I don't know. We don't know what happens over behind closed doors with some of these players. We don't know. But I don't think he was sitting at home like, man, I would like to go play. Like I don't think he was like telling myself like. Of course, he said I wanted to play. I would like to play with those guys, but didn't have that real.
Like it was possible.
It was possible. Like yeah I'm gonna go over there. Draymond Green, hey, come over here. We're gonna work something out.
Yeah.
He finds his way there. So I think he knows that. I think he trusts those guys. That's why he's sending out all these games. Like three. They say that he's out for 3 and third game 3 and game 4.
Mm-hmm. He knows if he was still in Oklahoma City, he knows he couldn't do that. He would have to play. He'd have to play tonight.
Exactly. So I think like I said, I think he trusts those guys. And I think he knows that they don't need him, and that's why he's probably leaving. It's like y'all guys was good without me.
Y'all are in good hands.
You know, so
I'm gonna go get paid. Look at him right there.
I agree, but I agree with you. Look at him. He got a cast on. It's like the way he's standing just looks like he's hurt. But
he looked broken down.
He looked like he's broken down. But I do agree that it's going to prove that the only thing that's going it's honestly to me going to kind of suck for him because it's going to show that they really didn't need you. I think it shows that, and to me, like those titles that you won. Yeah, you won it. You got the Finals MVP, but
yeah, no, I hear you. Are we Golden State's winning this series?
Yeah. I would like to see some way somehow that Portland pulls this away. I would like to see
Portland's going to get 2 games.
I would like to see them get to Game 7. I think they're going to get 1 game.
Let's see if they close this one out. But I think Portland's going to win 2 games. That backcourt's really good.
They need to be.
They have some really good pieces on top of it. So yeah. I think they'll be able to get 2 games. But what the Warriors are overall, I don't think you're gonna be able to beat them.
Like I said, I would like to see them at least get to at least a Game 7. But I do feel like they get 1 game. Like it might either it's gonna be this one or the one at Portland. Mm-hmm. I like because I like to see Damian Lillard get 1 game win in his hometown.
Yeah.
You know, because
he deserves that. Damian Lillard has always been that guy, so he definitely deserves that.
And it sucks. Like I said, some of his friends are probably they want to root for him. And it's like honestly, they should be sitting up there with Steph Curry's parents.
Just have the Del Curry jersey.
Yeah, have the Golden State in the front, have Damian Lillard in the back.
Hell yeah.
Keep it real with them.
So the thing that I really wanted to get to in this podcast, and I know it took us the whole show to get to it, but I wanted to get to the draft lottery. Me and you were both Bulls fans.
Oh yeah.
They were slotted for the 4th pick. They ended up with the 7th.
Oh,
that hurt. But the only thing, and he's getting started, and the only thing that warmed my heart was the fact that the Knicks fans that have been telling the world that Zion was coming to New York, they've been saying this. They've been saying this for the last 6 months.
There's probably like 1,000 jerseys. I'm just calling out 1,000 jerseys.
Just already made, pre-made.
Say Zion on the back, or says Williams on the back.
Get that custom button on NBA store.
Like that thing is straight out print off the dryer and shit, yo. What?
There was a video that you sent me.
Oh,
there's a video you sent me because the Lakers somehow ended up in top 4. So,
yeah, bro, let me tell you real quick too. If the Lakers would have got the number 1 draft pick, I was done. I was gonna call Adam Silver myself. Like, listen, I'm done with y'all. I know you don't know me.
I can't be here anymore.
I just can't deal with y'all no more. But yeah, the Knicks video I sent you was tears.
So the top 4 teams when it came down, it still wasn't announced who was in what position. It was the Lakers, the Knicks, the Grizzlies, and the Pelicans.
Pelicans, yeah.
So when they announced number 4, there was a video with a bunch of New York fans. And they announced number 4 was the Lakers. They all started laughing.
It was laughing,
celebrating
like crazy,
hands,
slapping hands, hugging,
right?
And like they won the title
immediately after the Knicks get the 3rd pick, and you see so much despair. That moment right there, that made me okay with the 7th pick.
You know what it reminded me of right there? It reminded me of that Waterboy scene when Bobby gets they tell him he can't play, and they send the guy in what you call it says, "Oh no, we suck again." I was like, that's what y'all needed right there. Y'all needed him right there to say that, because that's how it looked like. They was all like, yeah, there's like a parade going on.
And then the top 2 teams, I feel so bad. The top 2 teams are the Memphis Grizzlies
and the Pelicans
and the New Orleans Pelicans, in a strange twist.
It's, you know what?
Because whoever got that number 1 pick was going to try to send it to New Orleans for Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
We got it. What can y'all offer that we don't already have?
And honestly,
number 1 draft pick.
What that did is that made this Anthony Davis trade thing so messy.
Yeah.
Because now they don't want to trade him. They want to try to pair him with Zion and see how it works and see how Anthony Davis
I agree that that's what they want to do. Griffin did say the new
GM.
Yeah, he did Griffin say that the whole plan is to keep Anthony Davis here, and that's the main focus.
Trying to get him to buy in. Yeah.
But he also said, but if he still wants to go, I'm fine with it. Cool.
I think he's gonna hold on to him to the trade deadline.
I hope not. It's gonna be idiotic to me, because he definitely don't want to be there. He's gonna he's gonna play his game. He's gonna do what he has to do. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't know if I would want to risk him, getting hurt or something.
If you truly believe that you can change his mind, which I think
it has to happen in the summer. It needs to happen now, because if you just let that sit, the only way he's going to stay, if some magical way that the Pelicans pull off some other decent star to come over there, for a trade or something like that, because Zion, the only way Anthony Davis is going to stay there is Zion plays this
immaculate.
He's the godson.
But the problem is that if Zion gets there and interacts with Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis still wants to leave, now you've affected Zion, and now you've started the time clock on when does Zion leave.
Exactly. Like you and with somebody like Anthony Davis, your superstar, wanting to leave, what kind of conversation you think you're gonna have with Zion? He's probably gonna tell him all the good things, like, hey, this is what's up. They're good people and everything.
I just can't stay here.
But Zion, hopefully, or anybody will want to know, like, well, what's the problem? Because Zion's probably going to try to talk him into staying. They're probably going to say, hey, man.
Yeah.
Or it might be off from Zion's way. I want you to stay, because honestly, Zion, in my opinion, he's going to be fine. But if he turns out to be just not a bust, but just a regular NBA player.
Yeah. Slightly below what the expectations
Slightly what they thought.
Which is.
Sorry, it's kind of tossed up out there.
I'll be honest with you. Slightly below what the expectations are is Blake Griffin.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I honestly see Andre, Grandmama House, from the Hornets back in the days.
Yeah.
Kind of see him a little bit in there, because you're a big muscle dude. I don't know. But we're getting that to another story. But he wants AD to stay because he knows that this guy is he's an MVP candidate. I need him on my team just as much as I hope one day that he needs me on his team.
Right.
So I think, but you know what I do hope happens? This is what I think is going to happen. The Knicks are going to trade to get Anthony Davis. They're going to have to give up that 3rd pick
and a first round.
And maybe some first round, maybe Knox or somebody like that.
Well, you got to give up Knox.
I honestly think Dennis Smith Jr. And whatever other little crumbs you got laying on the ground, and they're gonna want AD, and they're gonna have RJ Barrett. And RJ Barrett's gonna come to the Pelicans, and now you got Zion and RJ Barrett back together again, and that'll make it a little more comfortable for both of them.
I agree with you 100%, but I think if you ask RJ Barrett in an honest moment, that's not what he wants.
And you listen, and
he has zero to say in
that was my only other thing, is that I think both of them wants to be the man of both of their team. I don't think they. I think they're boys, but they probably want to start off in the NBA like, hey, let me see if what I can do with my own team. Right. Like, because eventually they can team up. I mean, look at LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, or even
you can go play with your friends whenever you want.
At one point, as your career goes on, you might grow up. You might feel like, hey, I want to go play with him now.
Let's do it together.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But y'all both got pan out.
So I want to get deeper into this free agency conversation because I think it is a conversation worth having, but we just don't have the time today.
Right.
So we're gonna get into it next week. We're gonna talk free agency. We are gonna be back. Maybe we'll get some other people in here with us. But I do want to continue this free agency talk because I agree with you actually fully on that. I've been saying that since the lottery that's exactly what the Knicks are going to try to do. I don't know if the Pelicans are going to go for it, but if I'm the Knicks, I put something together with that third overall pick and a first round pick for next year, and probably like Dennis Smith Jr., John, Knox, something along those lines. Because I don't care about those pieces if it gets me Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis gets you that much closer to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So we'll talk about it more next week. Unfortunately, we don't have all the time in the world today.
A little slide thing too on that: Lakers or the Pelicans supposedly still doesn't want to deal with the Lakers, no matter what.
Well, Dan Griffin has something against LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just a little something I heard.
So that's probably how he got that job. It's like, oh, you hate LeBron too? Cool.
Come on over.
You're hired.
Come on, we're part of the LeBron hate club.
So as always, I appreciate you guys taking out the time to listen to this podcast. We appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown us. Follow the podcast on Smack Talk Podcast on IG. You can follow our individual Instagrams at The Real Cerebral and at The Real Dmob.
Yes, also, get rid of Carl Edward Jr. on the Cubs. I'm tired of him. Like, seriously.
Look, we didn't even get to that, but we get into that.
But let's Carl Edward Jr. I love you. You were part of the World Series.
I don't love you.
Listen, you got to go, bro.
Don't forget, Life After is available everywhere. Go listen to it on all your streaming services. I got to get that plug in. I love y'all. Thank you so much. We out here.
Peace.